are two rules in the fucking Latinos family. Don't marry somebody black, and don't park in front of our house. Sit your fucking ass down. Sit your fucking ass down. I'm talking, bitch. Sit your fucking ass down. You paid to see a show. Sit your ass down. You can't take a joke. You're in the wrong motherfucking place. If you can't take a joke, you're in the wrong. So sit your fucking ass down or get the fuck out of here. Sit your fucking ass down or get the fuck out of here. I see you. Okay, I'm sitting all fucking I want to fucking hear myself. You got two choices. Shut the fuck up or get the fuck out. I'll tell you what, I'll make the choice for you. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'll make the choice for you. Bye. 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 You can't take a joke, you're in the wrong motherfucking place. Bye. 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 Yeah, 4 seats, just open up front. What's up, baby? Hey, what's up?
Welcome to the Melanin Gold channel. My name is Penny, and this is a channel that focuses on issues among dark-skinned women, colorism issues, black women issues in general, and black people issues. And I wanted to come to you guys real quick because I have a busy day ahead of me about this whole George Lopez controversy. He basically said a racial joke in one of his stand-up shows, right? I know right now George Lopez is touring, but in one of his stand-up shows, he said a racial joke towards black people that did not go over well with someone that was in the audience. Particularly, actually, a black woman that was in the audience. And I remember, and this is basically how it went down. I'll try to put the clip in the beginning to show you so you guys can see for yourself. But what happened was he said a joke, and the joke went like this. There's two choices, two rules that Latino people follow. Don't marry black, and don't park in front of our house. A black woman got up and started going off at him, and she flipped him off. I think about 2 times she flipped him off. And then instead of him, and this actually kind of surprised me because instead of him just kind of going on with the show and kind of ignoring the lady and doing the show, he reacts and just goes off on her, calling her a bitch, and told her to either sit her ass down or get the fuck out. Like, he went off on her. Like, usually, I personally thought that was strange, because usually comedians get that a lot, where people are heckling them and talking during their performance. But with this, he went off on her, and and what shocked me even more a little bit was the crowd was like cheering him on. Like, so it kind of showed you their view on the situation about that. And it's very interesting. Afterwards I kind of went to Twitter and different other YouTube videos and looked at the comment section, and a lot of people were going, oh, it's a joke. People should get over it. People shouldn't be so sensitive. It's fake outrage. And I also particularly noticed that a lot of the comments were being made by black people, both men and women. And it's very interesting to me because what I thought of it, to me, I personally, as a black woman, I wasn't offended by the joke. The joke didn't offend me because, to be quite frank, that's a lot of truth. There's a lot of people in the Latino community who view if you bring a black person home or even a dark skinned Latino person, you're marrying down. Even, and it's kind of ironic, even though like I remember reading a statistic that said that damn near half of the Latino community has some form of African lineage in their family, but it's marrying down if you marry black, which I found to be interesting. But to me, it wasn't so much of him, the joke that he said. It was him going off on the woman after the joke. And I'm noticing that a lot of people are ignoring Cheryl Underwood on her morning talk show called The Talk. She has this show with that's kind of like The View that she's on, and she in a sense was in fact defending him in a lot of ways, but she made a really good point. She said that he could have came back at with her, instead of calling her a bitch and calling her out her name, he could have came back with her with a joke and been like, oh, see, that's not why nobody wants your ass, because you're talking. He could have did something like that, and kind of, instead of just kept offending the woman, he could have went along the lines and did that. Something to hear something like that from a person of another race, it didn't really shock me, because I know there's a lot of people of not only of his race but of other races that think that way too. If you marry outside your race, you're bringing down the race. It's like shit. I've heard other black families tell their family members to not marry white or to not marry Hispanic, so it's nothing new. I also know that a lot of Hispanic people who have more native blood in them or more Afro blood in them tend to identify as white. You know, if you put like a census or a job application in front of them, they'll mark not only the Hispanic box, but they'll mark in the race category, they'll mark white for the most part. And I find, and it's very common amongst particularly Mexicans and Dominicans, where like Mexicans I feel have more native blood in them, and the Dominicans I've met, they either have more Afro blood or native blood, but a lot of them will identify more as white. So that goes to show you a lot how they view themselves. They don't, even though technically they are minorities, they don't view themselves in that way. They want to be identified with white for some reason. Or with some people from the Caribbean, different part of the Caribbean, they won't say that they're black or Afro Latino. They'll say like, "Oh, I'm Dominican, I'm Jamaican, or I'm Puerto Rican," like as if that's a race, and it's not a race. It's a it's a country. A, um, a race is totally completely different from a country, but they'll identify with the island before they identify with their race, which is usually black. It's funny how people keep saying, "Oh, she can't take a joke. People are so fake over this outrage. They can't take a joke." But it's so funny. It was like, yeah, she can't take a joke, but at the same time, he can't take criticism. He can't deal with a heckler, and this dude is a professional. You know, I'm sure he's been in the comedy game for years. He should know how to handle a heckler creatively and get out of a situation like that, instead of just calling somebody a bitch and offending them. And you know, now I think about it, the situation like this, where if I was that woman in the audience, would I have flipped off that way, like got up and flipped him off and went that far as she did? No, I would have not. Matter of fact, I don't think I would even be at a George Lopez show, to be quite frank, because I don't find him to be too funny. Like, I don't think I would pay money for him. Like, I think of 5 comedians at the top of my head. Like, I would go to a Dave Chappelle show, a Chris Rock, a Paul Mooney, um, um, Kevin Hart maybe, and Cat Williams, and that's it. Like, I can't think of paying actual money to go see a comedy show. And that's the thing with comedy shows. You have to be really, really careful of who you go to see, because people say, comedians say the most offensive stuff that a lot of people can easily become offended. Like, I know, I forget, it was a black comedian. He was making a joke about rape and somebody got offended and he went off on them. And I know, like, and I like how comedian Paul Mooney, there's a lot of white people who kind of who walk out his shows because they get offended. And the thing is, they don't make a scene. It's like Paul Mooney handles it well. He'll make a joke about like white people leaving, but it's the white people leaving the room. But at the same time, it's like, it's not offended. It's kind of funny. And I think with this woman, I think with her, it's more so, it's the whole idea of not only black people, but in particularly black women being constantly the butt of the joke. You know, it's constantly being put down everywhere you go. Like, you can't go anywhere, and a lot of times you are being put down by people of your own race, people that look like you. Like even on YouTube, you go on YouTube and you run into all kinds of black men putting you down, saying, "Oh, black women ain't this, they that, they do this." Um, Hell, you can't even go to work with your natural hair texture without somebody having a problem with it. You can't walk out your house being you and without somebody having an issue with it. It's like, it's like I understand the frustration and the anger and where that woman was coming from. But me personally, I wouldn't have not reacted that way. Um, and George Lopez, I just went to his Twitter page and he has no remorse for what he did. So, and I don't think he understands the power of Black Twitter. Like, they're going to come at that ass. They're going to get him. So, they're going to drag him by his, as Lovely T on YouTube say, they're going to drag him by his baby hairs. But, yeah, and I also kind of wondered what DL Hughley thought about it. So I went to his Twitter page, and actually he didn't make a post about the situation, because I know it's kind of, DL Hughley is like friends with George Lopez, and you guys know, like, lately DL Hughley and George Lopez have been like anti-Trump right now because of all his negative racist views and his actions. And I went to DL Hughley's page, and it's like he didn't post anything, but he retweeted a tweet that someone posted saying that, oh, it was fake outrage and people don't, it's a comedy show, get over it. And people don't, and I was kind of disappointed in DL Hughley because I don't think he understood it wasn't the joke, it was what happened after the joke and the reaction that George Lopez had. But, at the same time, I don't expect too many people of any race to stand up for black women or to understand where a lot of other people of other races understand where people who are black come from. I think a lot of black people are used to being the butt of the joke, and to the point where they don't understand where a line crosses. Because I remember Steve Harvey said a joke about Asian people, and they were ready to like hang his ass. But just leave comments in the comment section and tell me what you think about the situation. Comment, rate, subscribe. All right, thanks. Bye.